Yes, I'd like to call to order the Education Advisory Board meeting of August 7th, 2025. Let's do a roll call. This thing here, like that, right? All right.
Board member Christian Lucia, absent. Alternate board member Tompkins,
Yes. Present.
board member Lexima,
Present.
board member Falucci, absent. Vice Chair Barron,
Present.
Chair Calvin.
Yes. I'd like to move that we have an approval of the agenda. Does anybody have any comments for the agenda? Oh, we have to do. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So now we can approve the agenda unless anybody has any comments on any of the minutes. No, nothing. I have a couple. Under the EAB assigned restaurants, I was assigned Pomodoro, so I don't know if you want to add it amongst other places, but for that one, I think for sure we had. And the EAB member under unfinished business, was that Jennifer that was going to do that, I believe? That's right here. I think it was. Put her name down. Let's be clear. I think
You want to do which one? What school?
The new elementary.
Okay.
This is for, they were looking for a board member for the new elementary school that they're looking to take in the committee that's kind of overseeing this.
Okay.
So when we talked a little bit about it, Masha may know more about it. Masha Andrews coming from the school district.
Oh, she's coming.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she just called a few minutes ago.
And it's the rain.
Full rain. Okay, any other minute notations or such?
I second to approve the agenda.
Well, first we need somebody to make a motion.
Oh. Make a motion to approve the agenda.
I second.
Okay, now,
Board member Lexima,
Yes, I agree.
alternate member Tompkins.
Aye.
Vice Chair Barron,
Yes.
Chair Calvin.
yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Did we move on to unfinished business?
So now you guys will be doing the approval of the actual minutes. Before we're approving the
Okay, so we
agenda.
need a motion. for
We
that.
need a motion.
Another motion.
Of the past minutes, or
Yes.
Okay. I motion to approve the minutes from the June 12th meeting.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by board member Lexima, second by alternate member Tompkins. Ready to roll call. Board member Lexima.
Oh, the two.
Yeah, you have to go down.
Okay.
Say it again. Yeah, yes. Alternate member Tompkins,
Present.
Vice Chair Barron.
Present. Or no, we're doing approval.
Yeah, we're gonna say yes.
Yes.
Okay, Chair Calvin.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Can we just clarify the motion, please? We have a motion by,
Board member Lexima,
we have a second
second
by,
by alternate member Tompkins.
and we can just do the roll call.
Yeah, one more time, because Jennifer just joined us. So board member Lexima.
But now you're doing the roll call for attendance. Oh, for minutes. Yeah, then yes.
So you have to say yes. Alternate member Tompkins,
Yes.
Vice Chair Barron,
Yes.
Chair Catlin,
Yes.
board member Christian Lucia. Yes. Motion carries 5-0.
Do we have to go on the order of the agenda?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't, It's Marcia Andrews, wanted to speak first. Doesn't matter.
Put you on the spot. As soon as you got here.
I think she wanted to dry off a little bit.
I was just looking at myself in the mirror. I told him to see if I was presentable. I just stopped, and then it all of a sudden it blew my umbrella away almost.
I had the privilege of knowing Masha now for a couple of years, and when I started, she was a real helper with what had been going on in the arena. And whenever you call her to do something, no matter who calls or where it is, she goes. It's like unbelievable. But you're leaving us next year, right? And you've been doing it how many years?
15 years. And I was in the Glades this morning all day, and it was pouring rain. So now it's here. I don't know if it was here earlier today.
Wow.
But it's the same stuff that I had earlier today.
Can we go around and just give like a 1 or 2 sentence, about yourself, so she knows what the composition of our group is like?
Yeah, sure.
You
So
want to start?
I'm Crystal Lexima. I am a behavior analyst. I specialize working in early intervention with children with autism and related disabilities. I have 2 children now that attend public school.
I met you before.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Jennifer?
I'm Jennifer. I work in curriculum design. I've been a teacher for 8 years, and I've been in the curriculum design space for I think 5 now.
My background is military, 30 years. I am a owner of TC and JRTC. That's what my work is in, primary education, leadership.
Great, we're not JROTC.
That's what
Big time. Seminole Ridge has a big one right over here, as you know, probably.
I know Tony Reeves. I know the principal of all.
Yes.
And I'm Lisa Barron, started my career off as a high school teacher, but now I am in the corporate space working sales management and change management.
Whenever you're ready for me.
So, I just as a little further introduction, the reason I call Masha is, as you know, we talked quite a bit about zoning. And we've heard, from individuals. Actually, I had a chance encounter, I think it was in one of the department stores. They were sending something for me, and when I said Westlake, then the 2 women there that were also working in the counter said, "Oh, we're from Westlake." So then we started talking, and they were talking about the schools, and so I was asking them some questions about, where do your children go and how do you decide, and then they told me something about one of the middle schools. If you want to, I don't know if this is really the story. If you want to be in the band, you go to this one, and what would the other?
The Bach Middle School.
No, here in Westlake. Yeah,
Osceola.
yeah,
We have Osceola and Westlake.
you're right. Yeah. So what I understood is, for me, it's not clear who goes to what school. And at one point we talked about if we could get some information. Is that information available? Because we probably have students that are going to non-Westlake schools but live in Westlake. And I don't know how.
You have students with the choice program going all over Palm Beach County, and you have students from outside of your neighborhood coming into your school. So yes, and one of the things I brought today was the boundary for each of your schools, and I think I sent it to my secretary to put that information to you. I hope everybody has a packet. And so I have quite a bit to share with you today. Some from the district was supposed to be here, but I guess the rain may have kind of knocked them out. So, and that was the person that's in charge of boundaries, but I can certainly answer as many questions as I can, and I can bring them back.
It's a separate packet. I think your
That's so
yeah,
great.
Oh, thank you.
But I have a full-fledged presentation today, not just on boundaries. I don't know if you're open.
This is
Sure,
all
yeah.
part of the artist.
And I know the boundary piece was a big piece, and so I certainly
Oh, I
can
think it's-
help with explaining that. And I can bring the contact person for boundaries back with me at another time too, if there's some questions that I may not be able to answer.
I just, I feel like it's
all Arden though, and Binks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly, that's the newest school. that's
Oh, for the
actually
newest, okay, I thought you were talking about our zoning from Westlake.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
And we really have to start all over again when we begin to do our new Lake Elementary School that's coming very soon. They'll be doing a whole new boundary study with representatives that will actually work with the community, who will actually help us draw the boundaries again. They haven't been drawn out in this area for a long time, and we never look the way we look now. We look totally different. People have moved in, and so it's going to be a whole total new experience with the boundary process.
You know, I'm glad to hear that. When I read that, they talked about, you know, for the elementary school, that there would be no longer traveling to two different directions. But maybe I was wrong, but I kind of got the impression that people are okay to let it go the way it is, but you sound a little different.
Well,
about
yes,
that.
because we're going to be building the new school very soon, and as a result, that's going to open the boundary process. We just finished the boundary process for the new Saddle View in Arden, and we had to reconvene the boundary committee, which consists of representatives from all over Palm Beach County. We do have a representative that represents me on the boundary committee. I think I mentioned him before, but every board member has a representative. The superintendent has a representative, and different entities have representatives on the boundary committee. And you really have to hash it out and talk about what's most feasible for the children and the community. The parents have a big voice in what happens with the boundary process. And it will be a time that we can bring up the situation where you have children living right in the neighborhood here that have to be bused to Osceola. And both of our schools are absolutely grand in the area. But, you know, we built a whole new Westlake city, and that was way before we had all of these schools built, all of the different layers of people living in the area. So it's going to open up again for us to kind of talk about that and decide what we do.
Oh, that's good to hear that happened in Arden too, so there's,
Oh, yes, we did, because the children are coming from Binks Elementary School, you know, those parents, some really want their children to stay at Binks. And there was a neighborhood that really did not want to be annexed. So the families got together with the superintendent, and they were able to keep their children at Binks, where most of the new people coming into the Arden community, they were so excited just to have their new school. But there are some people who have been here for years and years and years, way before all of this has been developed. So as a result, you know, they wanted to kind of not, you know, the children graduated from Wellington and Binks and Wellington Landing, but there's so many new people. They truly wanted their school, and we really did push the opening of the new Saddle View. We pushed it up, and for you all, your school will be breaking ground pretty soon. And when we begin to break ground and get to the process of movement, the whole boundary process will open. And that's the time you're going to bring up what's happening here with the children that's being bused to Osceola. They'll do the demographics of where the children are coming from, i.e. for the new elementary school, but also it's the time to kind of look at when we make some changes as it relates to the children, you know, at the middle school now. Now, you know, you're getting the new high school coming up here in 2030. So everything's really busy in District 6 because it's growing, growing, growing. And so the boundaries for that's going to really be a more Western piece. And even with the boundaries for what you're talking about, it's not going to include a lot of people to the east of it. It's all about kind of squaring it out now that we have a new setting here with all the development. And at the time when those boundaries were drawn, people really wanted to make sure their kids went to these different schools. But now it's location, you know, distance, based on what's best for families, and you'll have a voice to speak about.
and would anybody be stopping them from going to one particular school versus another that's in their zoning? Do they have the freedom to choose?
Well, what will happen is when we actually draw the line, and the school board is the voting party that will actually say this is how the lines will be drawn. But the school board does not do that unless there's total discussion, total time for parents, community have input, and then we vote. And the recommendations come from the boundary committee to the school board. And the people can kind of slow that process down if it's not meeting their needs, because you have so many times to have input. But kids can actually go to choice programs. Many times when you have a new school, just like the Southern View, some of the fifth graders will stay at Biggs because they have the option of staying there. We would never uproot them in their last year at an elementary school to kind of go to a new school unless they chose to want to do that. And so really once the lines are drawn, you're supposed to go to your assigned school unless there's something that will give you the opportunity to change. And it could be going to a choice program. It could be something with your family, a situation that would you'd have to request permission to have to go outside of the boundaries. But you do have that option to do that request, but it's not automatic.
I do have a question. I'm sorry. About the zoning. So just to clarify, when the committee comes together to talk about zoning for the new Westlake Elementary School, at that time it's rezoning for all three, or I guess four, that would be the fourth school. So all four schools, and we would talk about the lines for Golden Grove versus the elementary.
Well, you'll be talking about the elementary school, but
So
that
only
is the
elementary.
time that you will bring it up because the
Also,
committee is together and you will request. Can we bring it up now because we still have some dissatisfaction because it is really causing a strain.
Right.
And at that time, all the committee is together. They have all the demographics. They can look at what you're talking about and begin to say, well, let's add that on to it because we're talking about really the schools that are already sitting here. You know what I'm saying? You will get your new elementary school and most of the kids will be coming from this way anyway, but just how we will restructure since you'll have your data to present to the boundary committee. This hasn't been done for years and years and years. The whole place has changed and we need to add that to discussion with the boundary committee. And you do have that right because it is run by you, the community, the parents, and the committee, and the school board, and the superintendent. We're listening before we make any decisions.
The district, do they have a tentative date for the groundbreaking for the elementary school?
Not yet, but you'll be hearing pretty soon. It's in the budget. I just want you to know the money has been allocated. You know, I'm retiring out, but a lot of great things are going to be happening once I'm gone because I've made sure the money is there. The money is there for the high school. The money is in the budget for your school, and we have been working to move it up because you've asked for us to move it up. And we're building a new facility out in Belgrade, Crossroads Academy. The alternative school will be stationed. We're going to build a new building at West Technical Education Center. So children who are out there in an alternative school setting will have their education right there on the grounds of the West Technical Education
So can
Center.
students from this area go to West Tech?
Absolutely.
And do we have buses that take them?
Yes, we do. And we've actually, and you know, Seminole Ridge is so great. They have so many programs.
They do,
Very
yeah.
well. No,
Yeah.
auto mechanics, construction, you name it, we have it over here at our middle schools and high schools. So sometimes we're not able to get as many children from this arena because of the programs that we have here. When you think about, I think it's Western Hines of Osceola, they have the veterinary program out there at the middle school level. It's just a lot of programs out here already. But we're actually recruiting from Roy Palm High School for West Tech, Wellington, Palm Beach Central, because back in the day, and I've been around a long time, but I can say back in the day, it was rocking and rolling because we bused children from over here to West Tech. And then it was closed for 11 years because the thinking that everybody was going to college, and that was really flawed thinking. But we do want everybody that wants to go to college, but we do want to get children trained in junior ROTC, you know, technical programs. And certainly if you want to add that to your college list too, you can, or if you decide you don't want to take that route, when you think about all the money that it takes to go to college now and the debt that some of our children are ensuing because of trying to go to college. Right. And then you got so many wonderful jobs where you can make as much or more money when you have a skill. The children over at the Construction Academy, many of them already have jobs when they graduate.
That's one of our topics that we really want to work on getting the word out more to parents and to students about what the opportunities are. Yeah, not just a job, you can own a business. You know?
Question, do you have a lot of dual enrollment programs?
Oh, yes,
Yes,
absolutely. Yes, with the Palm Beach State College, and
right.
we're just so excited about our Arts campus, as you know, with the new dental program that's opening now as we speak. Hopefully you all have seen it.
Yeah, it's
Really
beautiful.
wonderful. And everything's out here now.
You can
not
get your teeth.
That's right. Not at the late work.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Growing
That
up,
building's
I
gonna
went
be
to a
repurposed for
student
something else. Everything.
really?
Yeah, it's right
I
here.
got
Fabulous. We did the tour. It was just absolutely fabulous.
Did Seminole Ridge have the most students in the district graduate with an associate's degree
Yeah, they
this
did.
past year?
Yes, they have.
So we're doing all
Yes,
this.
yes. And the advanced program, dual enrollments and all of that, Seminole Ridge is big time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mr. Hatchett is fabulous. He does a great job. His teachers and staff, they're wonderful. That's why we're trying to recruit out of Seminole Ridge. They have the high academic programs, choice programs, as well as technical programs. You know, you
Right.
see the
The
girls.
mechanics.
Yeah, the mechanics, actually, they know how to change your tire over there. If you have any kind of problem with your car, they've got it going on over at Seminole
You know,
Ridge.
with regards to that committee, we heard at some point that they were looking, I don't know where I heard this, for a member from the educational, maybe it was from you, to be on that committee.
The boundary committee.
No, the elementary school committee.
for the new elementary school, like the planning.
Yeah,
For the one that's coming here.
yes.
We only have the boundary committee. At this point in time,
Okay.
we haven't named the principal yet.
Okay.
But once we get moving and things start rolling, they'll be looking for all kinds of volunteers because
Okay.
really, it is going to be all about getting the input from the
You had
stakeholders.
some tangent, I think, yeah.
Yes,
That's good to
right.
know, yeah.
So, like, you want me to can I do my little thing?
Yeah,
Yes, please do.
Sure.
You're the star of the show.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I think
After?
she has them. You know,
Okay.
everything I'm talking about is on the computer anyway. But your executive, we sent all of it on
I think
to
it's
her.
of them.
Yeah,
I
some
need
of that.
Yeah.
I do have some. Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
About 9.
And you know, I'm also on the website, so you can always look me up too. But I just wanted to say thank you for the work that's being done by Westlake. Your schools are excellent schools. The school district is A-rated again, which is a big deal. All of your schools out here in your neighborhood are A or B schools. It's been that way forever. You have stability in your teaching staff, with your teachers, your principals. Very little turnover here in this region. People move here for the schools, and it's been outstanding at each level. Elementary schools, you know, Frontier, Golden Grove, you know, all of your schools, Acreage Pines, and they may not be just sitting here in Westlake, but you feed into all of these, and you have a relationship with all of those principals, and certainly I would love to have us one day bring them all. I know this is a small room, but we were over in the other room. It was a little larger last time. But if we could bring them here for you to see them so they can tell you what their plans are. This week, all the teachers return to school and the students start on Monday. And everyone's truly excited because we have so much progress to be proud of.
Do you think Northlake will really be open?
Yes, this weekend. I haven't been over that way, so I know you all probably know how it's
It's supposed to
run.
open Sunday.
Yes,
Yeah. You know how those things go.
So I just wanted to say, we're just so proud of the school district of Palm Beach County, maintaining the A rating. We have 82 A-rated schools, 82. 91% of the district high schools earn an A or B, and that is your high school right here in Westlake, Seminole Ridge. 120 schools earned an A or a B grade. There are no D or F schools, and I really worked so hard in the Glades region because we have A schools over there. Absolutely. B schools, almost A schools. I mean, they were so close to being an A, some C schools, but no D's or F's. And that's been going on for a while since I've been a board member at the at this position. So I'm so thrilled with District 6. That's why people are moving west, because the education out here and in Palm Beach County, it's your best choice. That's what the superintendent talks about. 2 schools, Pine Jog Elementary and Rosenwald Elementary, increased 2 letter grades from C to A. So today I was out to Rosenwald this morning, as well as Pine Grove, a little bit to the east of us. Those are the 2 schools in Palm Beach County that rose from C to an A. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of experience. And so, you know, those principals, those students should be highlighted. And we thank the teachers, we thank the communities for making it happen. But we have more A's and B's than anything. No D's or F's here in the school district of Palm Beach County. A few other little points I just wanted to tell you about. 71% of the A and B schools, athletic champions here in Palm Beach County. Lots of athletic champions. Oh, he's there, yeah. I know it's bad coming in. You made it. Here's that person from the boundary committee. And all of the answers, I was gonna be here. But then I said I'd bring you back later, but he's here.
Wow. You brave the rain.
Yes.
But I know, it's not a city hall.
Yeah. Yeah, but we have a 92.1% district graduation rate, but many of the schools have a higher graduation rate. Some of our grade schools have 100% graduation rate. So we're doing well with our graduation rate for our students. And a big thing that's happening with Palm Beach County School District and all over the country now, AI is big. And so we need to probably do a presentation for you all on how we're using AI within our schools as well as on our operations side and our business components with our chief academic officer and our buses, how we actually manage our money. AI is helping us on both sides, academically as well as how we work as a business. Palm Beach County School District is the largest employer. We're 5th in the state, 10th in the nation, 23,000 plus employees. So we're really busy. And right now we're welcoming the class of 2038. 2038, everybody. I don't know if you all have any students. Is that you? Do you have any children?
My little one's going to BPA, so she'll be 2039.
That's right. That's a big deal right now. Yeah, and so that's a big deal, and we work hard with the parents that's having their children in the class of 2038 with getting them ready for kindergarten, working with some programs to get them ready over the summer and before the year begins so that when they do arrive on the first day of school, they feel welcome. They've already been to their school during the summer months, meeting their teachers, getting information that can help them just brush up so that when they actually walk into the school on the very first day, the class of 2028 is already familiar with their school, know what's going down because it's something that we've highlighted on all of our pictures and on our walls, the children that are in the class, you know, of 2038. So that's a big deal. Now, I'd just like to tell you a little bit about Saddle View, and today we had a press tour of the school. It's your neighbor school, Saddle View. Dawn Moore Ross is the principal. She used to be the principal at Everglades Elementary School. She lives here in the Westland community. She's absolutely super. She's been working over there at Binks Forest for almost a year because when you begin to get your new school, before it's built on the ground, you're going to have a principal name, and that principal probably will be housed at one of your schools out here, working with the parents, working with the community to make sure that when it's all said and done, there's a lot of input from everybody. So I think before I'm gone, there's going to be some groundbreaking around here, and you're going to be talking about who you might want to see as your principal because you're going to have input on all of those things. So they're opening next week for students, opening 2 years early due to growth in the area. That's a big deal. The parents told me they had to have their school, told the superintendent and the board, and we got it done. Capacity of that school is 971 students from K5. It may be one day that we might have to expand up because that's where everything is right now, going up if we have to do K-8. And you know, around now you have a lot of K-8 programs, and there's a big validity of how it really makes a difference to be in a K-8 school. I'm a middle school person, but I know when kids leave to go to middle school, it's a big transition. And K-8 kind of helps them kind of get that piece together before they go to high school. And the school captures the agri-hood design and material. And the neighborhood is right there in the Arden community. So you kind of can go through the main gate where you have to stop, but you can also go through the side where there is no gate. So there's two different ways to get into the school.
Are they all built up now, do you know? All the homes,
Well,
no?
I don't
I don't
think it's
think so,
all
no.
built out
No,
yet.
no.
Yeah, and it really does. It's a big
So there's more to
place.
come.
Yeah, Arden is pretty close to
Capacity.
being built, but the price point yielded all the families coming in there, so just the sheer amount of families alone was enough to fill a school. So it'll be interesting to see what happens as we transition through the years, 5 years out, 10 years out. See what happens if families move on or if they just stay put, and who knows what happens next.
We had the one big problem there with trying to put the racetrack in, but I have heard no more about that. That was a real hot issue.
I can imagine.
That's
And
where they
then-
were gonna put it, out there?
Yeah, right there at the 20-mile bend, and that was
Didn't we just close one or
yeah, the one over there. That's why they want another
Oh.
one. But I think it's gone away. I don't want to speak too because the parents says, why would we actually buy out here in the middle of nowhere? Because you're almost at the 20-mile bend to have a race facility out here making noise, pollution, and it was really a bad scene for a while. So it's been quiet lately. So I think it's gone away. I don't know. The one thing about the school is that they're really working to make sure that environmental impact is there, and so they have solar panel field, butterfly gardens, hydroponic plant systems, and agricultural planter beds. So it's really pretty. And I do invite you all, if you want me to do a tour with you, whatever you want to, just let me know. I can do that. So those are some of the highlights.
They serve lunch?
That would be a good thing, because it's almost the same building as what we're having. I know David told me he's gonna do a couple modifications to that building. That might be a good thing for this group to go. We would have to notice it, of course, but to do a
Well,
tour.
if you want to do that, all you have to do is let me know. My
Okay,
secretary is
sure.
Angela Santa Cruz.
It's gonna
We
work
can
the
discuss
same.
that later on.
Yeah, she works with your executive right here. So
Okay.
when you want to do it, if you let us know, we'll be there. We'll work on that with the boundary committee.
Yeah,
and
that's the
everything.
same.
Because you're gonna see the same design, you'll see a basic footprint of what our school will look like.
Yeah, Blue Lake and Boca is the
Yeah.
same design.
Oh, it is. Is that a new one too?
Yeah, that's a new one.
It was a
Just
couple
opened
years
back
ago,
there.
yeah.
Mhm. And it's beautiful, but then when you look at art, they really kind of designed it to how they want to be with the agricultural spirit and just environmental friendly. So you do get a chance to put those touches on your elementary school as to how you want it. And that's why it's really important that you work closely with the school district, Joe Sanchez and his team, to make sure when it's really getting ready to go, that you're a part of that little committee now.
Did you mention to them what time frame?
What
we're looking
hell?
at?
No.
Okay. As we segue into that.
Yeah, I was just kind of just talking
want to
about
block you.
opening the school and all the exciting stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, so
That's what I was
so sorry again for being late. It's first time out here.
Welcome.
To Westlake.
Welcome.
But the Western Communities Elementary School, which is now designated just as 23-H, is slated to open in August of 2027. So think of the fall of winter of 2026. We'll start to be looking at elementary school zone boundaries for that. Like Arden,
They did ask that question.
yeah, like Arden, we do keep a good finger on the pulse of the development that's happening. And in fact, since my update from May for the development in Arden, there really weren't that many additional COs from them what we experienced in November. So we're still kind of in line with what the county would have as generation rates. And so I think our projections are still fairly good. We do still have new developments coming in, the Oaks and also Silver Lakes. Oaks, I believe they're starting the first phase of 266 units. And then that'll, I think, go up to like maybe 600 units. And currently right now that I know we are having modular additions, I believe at Golden Groves to help tie them over. The enrollment at Loxahatchee Groves still looks to be safe and in line. to handle it until we get the new school online. And of course, Osceola Creek, the middle school is also has plenty of enrollment to handle the current enrollment from Westlake. So other than that, we look pretty good, and get involved. You know, if you have any ideas or concepts on that, feel free to tell the committee, the attendance boundary committee, and they'll suggest to us when we're drawing proposals. I can't imagine that there's going to be that many proposals, since it's really to look at relieving the two schools and kind of making the best of the area. But absolutely get involved.
Well, I think we can kind of take it to another level. The main question is, you know, we have children that live right here that are bused to Osceola, and
Yeah.
they live right next to Western Pines. And they drew those boundaries years ago. You remember if you were here?
I wasn't yet,
Mhm.
but I believe they did the boundary change from Western Pines to Osceola Creek. Western Pines currently is over enrolled right now. So the situation with that to bounder back would end up having to then try and go forward and bounder out existing families from Western Pines to make room for Osceola Creek. I think that was done in 2016. So
Yeah, and I think that's the question. You know, you do have an attendance boundary committee. The boundary process will be open soon.
Right,
because of the
right.
Elementary school, and this is the time to bring it up if we're going to kind of look at that as a possibility.
yeah, if somebody wanted to suggest that and suggest to a member of the boundary committee and certainly have us take a look at it, we could draw it up. Whether the numbers work or whether they don't work, we could still draw it up. I know when we did the scenarios for the boundary committee as well as the superintendent, some of them we knew flat out didn't work, but it was one of those things of getting it out there so that the community knows what the situation is with the data, where the students are residing, and that they can make an educated decision on it.
So I know that when it comes to the boundaries for the middle schools, the letter that we received from the district was talking about the capacity rates and, you know, that Osceola had a lower capacity rate. But when I went online and looked at the lines, all of Avenir is also zoned for Osceola Creek. So it's going to get filled, whether it's from Westlake kids or Avenir kids. So
Right,
that's
so
kind
what-
of my concern is Avenir may have, just like they're getting their high school, you know, they may have the, I guess, the crowd to
Mhm.
speak up about rezoning for middle school or however it works, and then it's successfully done for them when, you know, we kind of.
Well, certainly we'll take a look at it, and just so that everyone knows, annually we do update our one-year enrollment projections. So following our October enrollment count, what we do is we then begin to do our enrollment projections for just the following year. So we'll start doing 26, 27 right after October. They'll be completed in sometime in late December, early January. And then after that, what we do is we move forward with revising our 5-year enrollment projections from there. So that way, with this October count, we can kind of get a feel on how those developments are progressing as the elementary kids and middle school students move through and
That was my concern.
Yeah, that
I
is-
mean, I think part of the problem is you can look at the enrollment numbers, but it doesn't reflect the movement that exists into schools that may not be within their zone presently.
Well,
You know?
well, you have a pocket of people coming to our area. When you look at North Lake and Coconut and all of
Avenir
that,
is coming,
that
yeah,
whole
sure.
thing is here. Now, my best advice for you all is if you could look up the name of my boundary person that represents this area, Jason.
I don't have that internet.
Okay, you don't have it. Okay, all right. Well, I think you want to have a meeting with him early to introduce yourself, way before we get to the process, so that you can tell him what your ideas are. Selected him to continue to work with me. He worked with me closely for the Dr. Joaquin Garcia, because it did hit Wellington, and now he's worked with me for the new Saddle View, and he's going to probably be working with me until I'm gone for your school. The new school board member can select somebody new for the representative, but this is a gentleman who has been working with me very good. I was able to do a lot of work, and I'll send that to you. Last time I was
Is it
here, I
Jason?
did.
Jason Link,
Not Jason Link, no, we have our own.
Stephen.
Yes, Stephen.
Okay.
Do we have a Deborah right there?
No,
Yeah.
these are my chicken scratch notes from Monday.
And I'm not the executive out there to
So
give that to everyone.
it's not Jason.
Well, Jason.
No,
works
he's
for the
our
school
manager.
board.
He's
Oh,
our
okay.
manager.
So this is a person, a community member from the neighborhood, from District 6. You can select someone that you want. Now, he is very experienced, so I would like for you to have him for a while, unless the new board member in 2026 wants to select somebody else. But it's nice to have someone who's been through that process, who knows how to fight for the community to get what we need to get. That's meets your needs for your students. And so we had a big time when we were doing Dr. Joaquin Garcia High School. That was a big high school, and it was interfacing with a lot of communities to the east. The school Southview was really nice because it was just an elementary school and it was really big in the surrounding areas. I think your elementary school process is going to be easy too because it's going to probably deal with this area. It'll be localized. But this piece that we're talking about for Avenir, Osceola, and Western Pines, I think it can be a little controversial.
Yeah.
So I think you really do want to get to know Steve.
Well, and the difficult part of that, that again is there would have to be a proposal to effectively relieve Western Pines in that whole scenario because
But
they're
wouldn't
over.
it happen anyway because all of Avenir is also zoned for Osceola Creek? Like if all of Westlake and all of Avenir are now both going into
Yeah,
Osceola,
But the
at some
thing
point-
is with a school already being over enrolled, you wouldn't bound our kids into an over enrolled school
Right.
when there's 250 seats
yeah,
roughly at Osceola Creek right now. So there would have to be
right.
enrollment.
But I'm thinking like in the future because we're not done building and Avenir's not done building. So I'm saying like in the next few years, when all of those I would assume those seats would get filled by us and them.
Right, so a possible situation or something that a group would have to look at would be the possibility of some type of domino boundary change, which means you'd have to go from one to another,
Okay.
which, that brings in more communities for discussion, more communities that may or may not like the idea, but certainly bring it forward to your committee member and they can propose it and we can draw up and do the numbers for you.
So am I to understand that it is acceptable for Avenir students to come here?
No, they go to Osceola,
Osceola,
Yeah.
go to
the one that we're getting bused to too.
Well, remember, District 1, where Avenir is, it sits right here in District 6. I have all of the acreage right at Coconut, but then Mr. Lane, who is the District 1 school board member, he has all of the Avenir piece. So we're just right next door to each other, so, when it all builds up, it's just going to be a narrow line. So we've got to do what we have to do. But one of the things I wanted to say too, that, many of our schools have a lot of choice programs. Kids are coming from everywhere else. So we have to figure out now, are we going to keep those seats for our children that live
That's true.
here?
because Western Pines is a choice school.
That's what, or are you going to actually continue to kind of displace our kids that live here go somewhere else? But we've got a lot of time to talk about this now before we get close to it. And that's why I think your meeting with Stephen is a good meeting. We got to get him educated and looking at that and looking at the programs. And kids apply for the programs every year. So as a result, that was before we were overcrowded when we put all the programs in the Western Pines. Everybody wants to go to Western Pines from everywhere, and that's why it's full. And it's a great school.
Do we collect that data? Is there a way we can get the data of the number of students that aren't closest to their schools are not going to them?
Yes.
Would
I
that
believe
be
our
worth
department.
looking at?
I believe our
Yes.
department does pull that report, and certainly that number per se, we can pull those. We call
Where
them
could we get that from?
our department, either demographics through our
Just
GIS
request it
department as
tonight,
well.
and I request it now?
Sure.
We're here.
Love it.
Yeah.
We're here.
So the crystals have to keep going on.
I know.
Yeah, nice to this and this. Yeah.
So essentially what we
I
can do
think
is
that's interesting information.
we can produce a table for you that has, the current, what we have right now in terms of our enrollment numbers. Our next enrollment data pull that we'll have actual points on a map for will be our 11th day of school, so August 24th, somewhere around there, and then the October count. But certainly, by that count, we can have what we call our in-boundary students in zone and our out-of-boundary students. And that out-of-boundary students will show you how many, for whatever schools you want to see, how many students are actually attending that school from outside of their zone.
I mean,
And then certainly we also do have the breakdowns of the codes to know how many are choice, how many are open enrollment, or others. Of course, administrative.
it'd be really good.
I would love to. And then what is the process and in, the history of some of the local districts, what does it look like to take away a choice program in order to allow seats for students in the area? Like, I know there are certain schools in the district that have never had choice programs, and I know that there are some, like I think when, what's the principal?
Ms. Edgecombe?
Yes, I think when Ms. Edgecombe came, she had said that they were no longer going to be a choice program because they were so packed. So like, what does that look like?
Well,
Removing the
another
choice program.
person you want to see, so you're gonna see a lot of me and the district people while we get ready to work through this process, is Dr. Geraldine Johnson, who's over our choice program. So that's a request that you need to make. Johnson, Dr. Geraldine, she's over the choice program. She can tell you how many children coming from everywhere all over the county to Western Pines, the Seminole Ridge. I mean, those seats of kids coming from somewhere else because they do get a chance to go to our career fairs and kick. And so we've got to kind of think about what the families want out here, and other schools will have to step it up and get programs so that children can still have the exposure. Because right now, those are seats that are being taken from the kids that live here. So Dr. Geraldine Johnson is wonderful. She can come. So I think we're going to have a whole lot of talking together way before I leave so that we can get this right. So whoever comes in as the new person, I want to have you all set so that you'll have all the information that you need. Now, we still want to talk about boundaries, but I'll tell you some little tidbits about the school board. We have 3 new school board members. Right now, we have Virginia Sandiato in District 2. She just got selected recently, as well as Gloria Branch in District 5, and Matthew Lane in District 1 that comes right from Jupiter all the way here, almost to your house. They were just elected recently, and their terms don't expire until 2028. But you have 3 school board member terms that will be up. Mine right now, and I could run 4 more years, but I've decided that I'm looking for a superstar to take my place and to keep it going. So that's what I'm working on. If you know superstars, it's time for them to put their name in there. I've already asked around the stable, but if you know, it's open. It's an open seat, and many times there isn't an open seat. And Erica Whitfield from District 4 will be running for the county commission, so that's going to be an open seat. So that's kind of a little bit more in the central West Palm Beach, Lake Worth area. And then we have Edward Ferguson in District 7. It's all of the urban areas across east of I-95.
Can we have a copy of that?
Oh, absolutely. It's online, but surely you can have it. But I just want you to know it's going to be some change. This is a big change for us because I've been in this seat since 2010. So it's a big deal for us. So we are really working on making sure that we get a great person. And I think we got a few candidates that have already signed up, but you can sign up for a while to come if you're interested. Because when it's an open seat, there's a real opportunity for you to compete, and we can get the right person for the job. So that's the piece. And I think you all know that the school board meetings are televised on Wednesdays. And we did send the executive the dates for the school board meetings, as well as if you can't see it on the Wednesdays, you can always go back because they're recorded. And so you can actually go back and look at the recordings if you're not available to see the school board meetings. The 3 new school board members are excellent. They're doing a great job. We love them. But it's going to be 5 new people very shortly. Yeah, and it takes a while to kind of learn it. I was an educator, so I've been in the school system for so long, and you're an educator. But most of the people now that I see that's sitting in these seats, they're not educators. A lot of them are attorneys and come from different places. And they're smart, but they may not have their finger on what happens within a school. You all are teachers and educators, you know what happens every single day. And so we're working with them. We have a great superintendent, Superintendent Michael Burke, and people like Jason Link and your team, you all have been around, so you've been there and
Yeah, I
done
went
that.
to college with Jason.
Okay, that's what he said.
And then we also worked together in Broward for many years. So, yeah, we've known each other back since the early '90s.
Absolutely. Well, I did give everybody a list of all the schools around Palm Beach County and their location. And I don't know if you have that, but your executive has it. If that's something you want, and you can see all these things on the website. But sometimes
You
people
gotta
don't.
know it.
But some people like their paper copies. And so it just tells you the schools in Delray, the schools in Boynton, Boca Raton. And we sent that to everybody. And I think she has it. But if you wanted to print it out for you, it's something if you really want, you can have it. Now, a piece that we're talking about today are the new schools, and I don't want to steal your thunder since you're here. We're talking about the
Yes, I've got that same table up. So.
That's right. So can you talk about it? I was going to just tell everybody about it, and I'll give it to you about the schools that are coming with West Riviera and all of them. So
next year, so this fall, we are looking at reconfiguring West Riviera Elementary School to a pre-K through 2, and Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune to a 3-5 with a grade reconfiguration as well as an attendance zone change. And that would be looking at some shifts around from the other schools involving Washington Elementary School as well as Lincoln Elementary School as well. So that planning process will actually start this fall. And then, of course, next year, the following year, winter of 2026, that's when we'll start doing planning work and looking at the zones for 23H, which is here in Westlake. And then further out, then the next year, we actually are then going to look at possibly a K-8 in the western Boca Raton, Delray beach area. Then the following year, we won't have anything going on. Vacation time. And then we're going to then start for a Riviera Beach High School in the winter of 2029. So those are all within the 5 years. And then after that, we then start to look outwards to the Western Communities High School in the winter of 2030. And
That's the North Lake one?
Yeah,
yes.
and then North County area elementary school in the winter of 2032.
Now, when are they going to break ground for our elementary school? How soon do you think that's going? I know it's just
Usually what happens is if we're starting the zone planning in the winter of 2026, I would say that is probably then going to start sometime around that time, about that time. Because I know with Saddleview, it was about the same time period. We were going through the boundary process, and they had already started to break ground. So I do know they do coincide pretty quick, and since they used kind of
like October through December.
Yeah, I think right around that time period. Might even be before that. But I know that with them using kind of the same building pattern like they had for Blue Lake as well as Saddleview, that generally they can go out and they can make the modifications they need and really get going. I know when I came out here, when Saddleview was first started to be put up, I was really surprised at how quickly it went up. So they're pretty good at it now.
So your advice is for this group, this time next year to start strategizing to work with the school board about boundaries?
In fact,
maybe June?
June, I would start to look at it, because generally right around now we'll start to be drawing for example, we'll start drawing the proposals now, even though the data changes between like the 11th day and in February of last year, the 11th day of enrollment, October enrollment, when we're doing the attendance zone planning in August now, that's about the time to start looking at that.
I just want the group to
and in that way, like I said, you'll have a good feeling about where not only the elementary schools are and the kind of the growth. From what it looked like just recently, it didn't look like there were really that many more students that came out of into the Golden Grove zone from November to May, maybe 10 students.
Okay.
And in fact, I think it went down a couple of students in the Loxahatchee Grove zone. Osceola Creek is still 250 students unenrolled, so I really can't say how much more boom we're going to get out of Avenir. It might play a factor, but then again, it's also looking at your elementary school kids and seeing who matriculates out. You know, what age group are those students? Are there a whole bunch parked at 4th and 5th that in those 2 years suddenly we have a big boom in middle school? So we'll have to take a look at that and can certainly provide you the numbers for
I
that
think
going into it.
one thing that oh, sorry, go ahead, Anita.
I was just a quick question. How long did it take from groundbreaking to completion at Arden School?
That'll be
About
I want to say it's got to be a year because they started right one. Yeah, it's about a year.
Yeah,
Maybe-
because she
I know
came,
it's a
when she
little
came
over a
in
year.
April, she had invited us to the groundbreaking, which was gonna be like the month after.
I know it's a little bit over a year,
Yeah,
but they move
okay.
pretty quickly now.
So I have a question, backtracking to when you said that, when it comes time for planning, you're gonna look at how the numbers change with all of the local elementary schools in the area. Are we also gonna take into account that our gifted school, we don't have a gifted school, so a lot of our students are fed into H.L. Johnson and then hence stay, like my kids stay at H.L. Johnson. So we would be kids that would go to our local school, but we don't because we go to like the feeder gifted school or like Lox Grove being with like the like the ESC pre-K or things like that. Do we take into that account or no? It's just
That's-
lots of kids going into.
That's really something that comes with the educational team
Okay.
part of the planning for
Okay.
this, on whether or not there's going to be in-house gifted or if they're going to be
Okay.
at a different location. It's the same way with
Does Saddle
maybe
View
certain
have a
ESC
gifted program?
clusters.
Do we know if Saddle View have a gifted program? I don't know. I don't think they do.
Don't know
Okay.
I don't know offhand.
So there's none out here at all.
Well, one of the things I'd like to say to you, to be proactive, Vice Mayor, the mayor has spoken to the superintendent, because we really haven't addressed a lot of the things we don't have here that we should have,
Right.
like a gifted program. H.L. Johnson is pretty crowded. They pull from almost everywhere. And so those conversations that you'll have with like Dr. Geraldine Johnson or the choice programs where your seats are filled out here, with people that don't live here, programs that we don't have in our schools, that analysis need to be done early, way before we kind of get close to everything, and then everybody gets so excited and wanting to do something. You all need to be kind of putting that big map up to say what we have, what we don't have, who do we need to talk to based on what our needs are.
And that's
And
Dr. Geraldine Johnson that we talked to about choice and the gifted ESC programs, all that.
Kevin McCormick is the ESC coordinator, the director, executive director. He's absolutely fabulous. But I'm just saying to you all, I mean, I know it's great to have the monthly meetings. You have a lot of work to do. And it's kind of now with somebody new coming soon. I don't want you to be on the end process of somebody coming into this seat. Right. And we haven't done our homework early because your school's going to go quickly. Once the campaign season's over and a new person is sitting here, they won't really know a whole lot. I want you to be much more educated on what you want, what you told me you wanted, and what you've actually told the district you wanted, so that as we kind of get into the last stages, you've already got your sheet. So I think this is good that we're having this conversation.
And also when we plan for new schools, especially that first year, we don't want to overload the school.
Right.
And especially right now, Loxahatchee Groves is the amount of students coming out of Westlake right now that attend Loxahatchee Groves from the area in Westlake. There's only about 60% of the students, so you have about a 60% attending rate. In the Golden Grove section, you have a 68% attending rate out of all the students that attend Golden Groves that live in Westlake in that portion.
Oh, that's how many of the Westlake
So-
students are in.
That being said, as we've seen, build it and they will come.
Yeah,
You get a new school, you get the new school effect. It's,
yeah.
the school district can put in all the latest, greatest gear and people come out of the woodwork because that's the best opportunity is coming back to the school district. So it's one of those things where we absolutely found that with all of the other schools that we've recently put up, from Blue Lake to Dr. Garcia High School. I'm sure it's going to happen with Saddleview. generally we only fill K through 4, right off the bat. The fifth grade gets the option to remain, but that doesn't mean that they still could
And remember that
attend the
was
school.
top of
So
the building.
that's so if you see our planning come that time period, and it looks like, hey guys, why are you only filling 23H to only 65%?
Right, it's because we know it's gonna be.
We know
it's gonna be a
not
line
gonna-
at the door.
Yeah. So
Okay.
and being that the property is right smack dab in the middle of both places, that a lot of the communities could have a short walk or ride there. Of course, they wouldn't be able to too close to take a bus, but
Yeah.
it will happen.
Hopefully everyone's seeing the calendar.
Yes.
You know, it's online. Do you need that? Anybody need one? We're good? Everybody's good with the
Yes.
calendar?
When is this time to have the conversation about the program for the elementary school? Is it before or after the
Building.
the
We
the
have
boundary.
we have a group that meets internally from our area superintendents that are regional offices that they go through the whole planning process. So they work on FFA need to get seats and equipment into the schools. They work with boundaries. They work with facilities. They work with educational. They work with getting the teachers hired and all that kind of stuff. So everything's on that time frame. That usually starts a little bit before or right about when we're doing the boundary process. So when this gentleman said that, maybe June of that year, really start to look at it, that's probably a good idea. And certainly at any time, reach out to Ms. Andrews and as well as, either through her to the regional superintendent as well as the educational instruction lead for that to start to get the discussion on, will that school have gifted? Will there be an ESE cluster program? How will all of that be handled?
Right.
Will they even have pre-K? And then start to look at, not only the elementary school points, but also if you have any interest in the middle school points, what that would entail doing, and if that's something that can be undertaken or is even palatable.
is there a separate IB coordinator, or would it be the same person?
Yeah, you work through your regional office. And that's the next thing. I think everybody knows Dr. Coleman. It's online. If you don't have this, if you need a paper copy, she is your regional superintendent. And I think we sent that to the executive too. Maybe you all do know her and you don't need that. If you want it, a copy made. All of this I'm giving you is truly right online. And then what I did make for everybody was the name of the three principals, Linda Edgecombe over at Golden Grove, and your boundary map. But you all already have this, and you know the boundary for the school. And the one for Osceola, the boundary map, you probably have all of this. But it's good to know where the boundaries are now because you're thinking about making a change. And the boundary map for Seminole Ridge, I just think these are the kinds of things you should have at your fingertips as you begin to look at where you want to expand and how you're looking at everything. These are just things that I just had with me that I thought you may want, and you did send it in to you all earlier if it was something you needed to do.
The boundaries you
This one should have the Arden ones.
have. That's just the Arden. Okay.
Yeah. We don't have ours. We just have like all the documentation for how.
Okay. Okay.
Do you want to see it or
No,
not?
she's on. We'll wait for the cops.
So I just think, you have a lot of work to do. I just really don't want you to wait until the last minute. I want you to get familiar with these people who make these changes for you, but you need to have your own ideas as to how you want your school to look, what kind of programs, if you have children being bused out of here to programs elsewhere, then you need to kind of put all that together and begin to meet with Dr. Coleman. She's your regional superintendent. You have instructional superintendents. They need to be in conversation with you because it's going to happen. It's going to
Can
happen
we invite them
quickly.
to the next meeting?
Mhm.
Can we invite them to the next meeting? Yeah.
And just begin to work on this process because time will fly
On all
before
of
you know it.
Yeah, like literally everybody. Just so when we have the meeting, no one's like, well, that's actually this person. I think we should just tell them.
That's
Every last
okay.
person.
We could do a little
Like-
session that way.
Yeah, I would love to.
And it'll be
Can you just
interesting.
send that to me? Like,
It'll be interesting to see how the development comes into play with, if it still stays at its same pace, or if it slows up.
Right.
I mean, it seems like from the data that I received, that the COs slowed up
a lot.
and the amount of students slowed up.
Yeah.
I don't know per se if the price points are still the same, but I do know those price points are certainly better than the area where I'm at in Boca, because I don't see how they're going to develop some of the areas in Boca that they had by Olympic Heights High School when the home started over $1 million. I just don't see child rearing age.
Well, they're
families
thinking of
moving in.
doing villas, and I think that would also help too.
Yeah.
And then the GL homes are it sounds like they're gonna be at a lower price point as well. So I think.
And GL has another 3,500 coming behind us. Not part of the city.
Okay.
It's gonna be unincorporated public sky, but they have 3,500 homes coming
That's Silver Lake?
on off of 60th.
No, second community.
It's totally separate from us.
Which right by Arden, there's going to be Lake Haven. I don't know how large that one percent. It's on the map there. It might actually say right on her map right there, or one of the pages if you have the scenario map.
Approved future development, 400, yeah.
There's a lot of growth coming.
So
I see it, Lake Haven, yeah.
yeah,
It's right by,
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
that was interesting because I had heard like many years ago, even when I worked in Broward, that there was like this push to try and get rid of unincorporated area, like all the area would eventually be incorporated
Right.
somewhere somehow, and it hasn't yet. So I'm kind of curious as to how that's going to play out.
That's why I have 41 schools, and it's going to be more. 300.
Alicia?
Yeah, thank you. Alicia Torres, 5847 Whippoorwill Circle. Thank you guys for coming. I write a hyper-local blog for Westlake called the Westlake Wanderer. And so my question for the readers, the families, residents is, it sounds like Saddleview, is that the name?
Yes.
Has been kind of a big success as far as like it's the agri-hood vibe, the way they named it, whatever. And so my question is, how involved do these families themselves have to be? Their enthusiasm level, I'm wondering if Arden, were they really good and loud about what they wanted for their school? Or does it kind of happen naturally, organically anyway?
For the most part, but I can tell you from working in Broward County as well as Superior over 21 years, that get involved. Because if we don't see people that come out, then suddenly, it's for the school board, because if they don't see anybody come out, then it's like, okay, then nobody's really interested. We're just going to go ahead.
So you would just do like a cookie cutter version of like the basic,
Well, not
I know there's still the studies.
Not necessarily a cookie cutter with the studies, but you don't have the input on the studies. And then families come back later and say, well, we didn't know. So we try to advertise ahead of time. One of the things that actually really great that happened out of COVID is that we now do our boundary committee meetings via Zoom. So instead of everybody having to drive down to Fulton Holland to meet at like 5 o'clock when families are working, kids are getting out of school, people are trying to make dinner, doing whatever else that they want to do besides talk about boundaries, they can get on to a meeting, listen, they can participate, and it's something that we can actually have way more people. I think that the licensing that we get for the meeting, we actually do it as a seminar, so we can actually have thousands and thousands of people online. So it actually allows us to have a lot more participants than what we ever would have in person.
Yeah,
So-
I think the issue is how do we best get the word out so people know about
Well, they
this
get
meeting? Because we don't really know the time frame. And maybe you put it on your website, you
Late.
probably do, but people don't look there.
Correct,
Right.
and I'll admit, and I was just talking to my wife about this in terms of even city reviews of projects that you advertise 2 weeks in advance in a newspaper. Who reads the newspaper until you advertise on one day? So, but I can tell you that starting summer of 2026, start to get involved, start to get the word out.
I
Get to
think we
look
can
at,
facilitate,
Yeah,
like
look
the
at-
meetings. and-
look at, who's your representative on the boundary committee. Get kind of some ideas out to them so that they can get back to us. And then that way, if there are additional meetings needed, or Saddleview, we went ahead, we learned our lesson with Dr. Garcia High School, because there were proposals to where we went through the numbers, even though it involved 9 high schools, it just would not work. And so we didn't draw the proposal for that because it just wasn't going to work. Well, ultimately, the committee asked for those proposals because they wanted to see that it didn't work. And so when we did Saddleview, we actually produced those proposals, and we'll do the same thing for 23H. But get involved from the summer, fall, and winter on it, and really stay in touch with your school board member as well as the committee member, because school board members are more than welcome to attend the attendance boundary committee meetings.
I went to all of them.
And it's, again, it's something to where
For my school.
parents have a better opportunity now that it's online, because you can even call in and just listen to
Right.
it. And even if you're cooking dinner, you can still listen to it, you can still watch it, and if it's your turn to speak, then guess what? You stop doing what you're doing, you log in, you speak, you take your allotted time, and you give us your ideas.
Was there, do you know if someone who led the charge over there? Is there a name that sticks out to you who was a resident only? Like, I'm wondering if there was one person or a group of people that had the Facebook group and the whatever to keep people updated and organized.
And one of the things I would suggest you do is, we're gonna do a tour anyway, that's something that's on our list, that you make contact with Dawn Ross, the principal. She had a wonderful operation going on with the Southview parents. Oh, they were so involved to get all these things going. And then she can give you those ideas of what they did. You may not follow everything, but you want to meet with her and pick her brain so that you can kind of have it ready. And I know we're talking about, that summer, but I just know you're meeting every month. So now that you're meeting every month, when we got the letter from the mayor to say that he wants us to look at how we do business with these boundaries for Western Pines and Osceola, I think you're the catalyst of making sure you begin to put together whatever you're talking, whoever you're talking to from the district, attendance boundary people, the region office, all of us need to be kind of putting together a little portfolio of check off the things that we've done early. By the time we get into that summer, I want you all to have met with all these people, even though maybe decisions aren't made yet, but you know what it should look like based on what you want in your school, for the middle school as well as the new elementary school. And then when it gets close, and you've already had a whole conversation. I mean, in selecting the principal for Saddleview, I was just pleased that the superintendent worked with the community and worked with the region superintendent about what kind of person that could fit the families in Arden. My goodness, she took the ball and ran with it. I went to all of her meetings and everybody was involved.
Yeah, she's super excited.
And it's been wonderful. And nobody's called me to say that they were not happy. And even with the attendance boundary, that one neighborhood that was an experienced neighborhood that had been there for years that truly didn't want to go to Saddleview, the superintendent says, I'm going to grant their wishes because they've been there so long. Let them stay where they feel comfortable. They were here before all these other people, and they want to stay in the communities where their children went to school.
And I think something similar happened with Bay Lake. Because
Which one?
with the one in Boca.
Blue Lake.
Blue Lake,
Blue
yeah.
Lake,
I
yes.
think something similar happened. Same thing, like the parents spoke up. I have a family member who was part of that whole process
Yeah.
where her school was shifting and her daughter had just been gifted
Yeah.
and they weren't sure if the new school was going to be gifted. And the parents came out. Like the parents all met together. They
Arden,
fought.
Saddleview was a little bit different in the fact that we knew that it was pretty much just going to encompass or just so many kids.
Yeah.
I think there will have to be decisions for certainly for 23H in terms of how it plays out, because Golden Grove is more over enrolled than Loxahatchee Groves. The big piece, of course, is if you look at anything with the middle school, is that Western Pines already being over enrolled, that we generally would not bounder to an over enrolled school, because that would then cause another community to have to be displaced that's already been there.
Right.
And certainly we could look at all the numbers with any kind of choice programs there, but then it's kind of like, well, what does that do to the school when you start to remove the choice programs or a particular program at that school?
What if,
So that's the
Okay, that's why you need to talk to Dr. Johnson.
Correct.
Okay.
Because,
correct.
you know, we
Right.
have to look at our district-wide thing. A lot of kids get bused a long way to come to the choice program at Western Pines.
Right.
We need to have more programs so that kids don't have to be on the bus. I do believe in children going to neighborhood schools where they can actually be close to home. So as we begin to expand out here, we don't need to wait until the last minute. We know that we need to provide more opportunities for children so that they don't have to pick Western Pines and be on the bus.
And depending on how many community members you initially get the word out to, sometimes, like I said, we found that it's good to have those proposals out there, even if they don't work. Because inevitably somebody else will come up with that.
that's what I'm
And
worried
you're like,
about. Like,
oh,
Avenue's gonna come up and be like,
That guy doesn't say
this
it
isn't
doesn't
working,
work.
and then now
Yeah.
they have Western Pines, they rezoned everybody, or they get a K-8
Or they take our school.
Or they take our school, like, you know what I mean? They have the backing of our, they're, that is safe.
And I do want you to know they have their own attendance boundary representative too. And they're looking because they're growing. I mean, we have Pierce Hammock that's right in there picking
Yes.
up all of those children from
Mhm.
that whole piece. So they're looking too and making their plans. And I don't know if they have an education advisory board like you, but I know that you really need to get busy because the time's gonna,
Right.
they're already sitting down at somebody's coffee table thinking about how they want
Yes.
that thing to
Somebody
be
can
done.
come
So
over coffee table.
I think you'd be a great,
They're gonna
great
want to have a
boundary
new
person.
school.
I think you'd be a great boundary person. Okay.
That's just, it's a mission of mine.
And then we can share information because you have a great vehicle to spread the news.
I mean, you know, it's kind of like, what did you say, that we didn't know? Even with the blog, you know, I tried to put out information, the city puts out information, the city council is putting out information, I still all the time see or hear, well, I didn't know, how was I supposed to know? And it's like, it's all over, at least social media and the internet, you know? But that's what I don't want to happen,
Mhm.
is for us to just, oh, too little, too late.
Well,
you know?
even knowing, when we release our October enrollment counts, which is our benchmark enrollment count, having that date and making people notified of that, saying, hey, this data's out there, start to look at it. The group is updating their 1-year budget annual projections. Those will be out in late December, early January. So those milestones that lead us up to gathering the data for how we make the decisions to draw the proposals and work with the community members. That way they have the same data and can look at it. I mean, granted, it's going to be a little bit different. We have the actual point on where that student actually resides, but they can then start to see the numbers of the schools. Eventually, we'll get the capacity of the school. I'm assuming it's probably going to be around the same capacity. If it's the same footprint as Blue Lake or Saddle View, it's probably going to be somewhere in that same ballpark capacity. So,
What is
right now,
917.
for Saddle View. So, Saddle View.
And I feel like that's pretty close to what did Golden Girl have? When they came,
971, the capacity.
Yeah, I thought it was 972. So it's somewhere right around that 971, 972 is what we have.
And you know what, I envision in talking to you because I know you, and Katrina was here and we started this program and now we're getting our school, we're getting the high school, our elementary school. I would like for you to do this for me and I think it could help them too. And I'm kind of winding off. Would like to see some kind of flow chart that we can get, a flow chart that talks about the new elementary school. And by months, we can kind of leave it blank if we don't know yet, but the date that we think we're gonna be breaking ground, the day that we anticipate it actually being open, for school students, the day that the boundary committees will begin to start working, and then you fill it in as we go. Every month that we come up in here, we can look at that and see where we are. It's a live document. And it will help me as I'm kind of winding my way out with the new people that may be coming on the board. And there's some other information we probably could put in that that we would not like to kind of see. And the piece about when are we going to have the discussions about Western Pines and Osceola? When do we start that? I know that the boundary committee might not be ready to have that discussion yet, but what does the education committee need to be doing? What does the mayor need to be doing? In this scope of time, I don't want us to wait until the boundary committee get together. They're so busy trying to figure it all out. So there's just a volatile time now that it's kind of looking good for us to kind of look at that. And we need to fill it in because it's going to happen so quickly. And if we don't take charge and make it happen the way we want it, all the people that work for the school district, they're very, very nice, but they're very busy too. And they're going to want to take care of you, but you have to take care of yourself and push us to do the things that we need to be doing so that we can meet your needs for your elementary school, for the people who live in these communities out here. And certainly you got a competition right there with a development that backs up to you. And they're going to be doing their thing too, talking to the superintendent with their board member, school board member Matthew Lane, and their attendance boundary thing, looking at all of that. So we just have to have that. To me, I think I would like that.
Yeah, I know we have somewhere out there, flow chart of the boundary process, but certainly adding those milestones to it with kind of a monthly date window of when we lead up to that. Would be useful.
And I'm looking forward to such a
We could
parent.
put it on
that
the wall.
That's what's gonna get them interested and active. Like when they hear the school's opening in X amount of years, that seems so far.
Right.
And we have, like, I think we have a thing in our community where it's like people have ideas, but they don't necessarily know the right vehicles to channel them in. And so it's like, what can we do on, like in our committee to get the information out to parents so that parents are also contacting people, because Avenir they're active and they are going to push and push and push because that is just like who they are.
It's like the
They're-
other families.
and
They
so-
weren't supposed to have a school this early.
But they push.
They pushed.
They
And
push
and
me.
Well, there's.
it was 2020, they were 2029, right?
I think they
originally.
were further out, but
Yeah.
the numbers there just absolutely exploded. And there were like 850 elementary
Right.
kids alone. That just
We were so overcrowded.
I was gonna say, was it a Binks thing? Or like
And you-
Binks was
and
like, there are too many kids here that aren't supposed to be.
Which direction?
Correct. I feel like there was also a lot of push from, because I have a lot of clients in that area. I have a ton of clients that are actually going to Saddleview. And I know that was a big discussion where Binks was just kind of like, we are overcrowded.
Yeah.
You have to figure something out.
Yeah.
And then Arden families were equally as frustrated.
And Binks didn't even have any space on the site for relocatables.
Yeah.
The bus loop's small.
Yep.
It's kind of one way in, one
Yeah.
way out.
And it was backing up on Southern as a
Yeah,
result.
yeah.
It was a whole thing, I remember.
Yeah, it's just, they absolutely needed the relief, but you absolutely want to get the word out ahead of time.
Right.
We notify everybody via parent link through email and phones, but guess what? That doesn't happen until we start to get proposals drawn. And then they get notified. And then they're like, oh, wait a minute, then it's already gone to
Yeah.
like maybe one meeting, or it's about to be the first meeting. You haven't even really thought about it.
It's late.
And then all of a sudden, a week or two later, you're having this boundary committee meeting that's gonna be maybe not for your current child, but maybe your second elementary age kids. So now you possibly have kids going to two different schools.
I just really think like
Yeah.
the next steps, I think that as a board, we should at our next meeting, invite all of these people. So Dr. Johnson, Stephen Levitt, Kevin McCormick, Dr. Coleman, and advertise it to the city or our community that this is the time to voice programs that we think should be at our school, concerns, boundary, and then, from there, it's at least written down. You know what I mean? Like we have minutes, we have a paper trail, we have all of this that our concerns have been voiced, and then from there, we listen to what they have to say on next steps.
And on this matrix, I would like to see some icons at the bottom. Contact people. For instance, Kevin McCormick, ESC, your regional superintendent,
Dr. Coleman.
And the phone number.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or
So that
the
the parents can reach out
Because when
to.
you begin to kind of look at all that, people are going to say, well, who can answer this question? And it will get fast.
Yeah.
And I just know when the boundary committee starts meeting, it gets real tense. It's-
I think they're getting a little sense of our interest in this whole zoning issue, just by virtue of the letter that was drafted.
Yes.
And the fact that the mayor sent a letter, so I think we've
Yes.
already started to
You
kind of
have-
churn the waters a little bit, so we need to keep it up a bit.
And maybe if the group wants to, if we have some presentations from the school board, if we invite everybody, we'll move it back over to the lodge for that time. So it's more of a.
That's what Lisa and I
Because
were
we're all
saying. We were
not
like,
gonna
can we
fit.
make it for just one night?
Normal meetings would take place, but here, if it's gonna be something big. maybe
Right,
we'll
right.
move it back over there.
Yeah, I really do think we can like, hopefully we can get the momentum. I really do. Like I have, we have Chelsea Lanahan, who's the ESC coordinator for HL Johnson, and she's a big advocate on having some type of ESC program out in special education program out here. And I know she would have a voice with the ESC.
But even if parents just wanted to sit in the audience just to hear,
Yeah.
okay, here's the potential of what's gonna be happening.
Yeah.
We have,
Then
9 months to start
Yeah,
working on this before June comes and then we go.
but even then, because our Facebook group blows up with parents of kids on the spectrum who have no idea where their kids are gonna go. And they're like, well, I guess I have to go to Loxahatchee Groves if that's, where the ESC pre-K is, and then from there we kind of move up. But I mean, I don't know. I just think that we can build the momentum based off of the concerns that are already out there. People are gonna show up.
Sure, I'm proud of you all because the last time I was here meeting, we were talking about this. So
Yeah.
you've been thinking about it for a while. You know it's coming, and now it's getting closer. That was about a year out that
Yeah.
we were talking, but now every time that we meet, it's getting closer and closer. And you really want to get to the people when it's not in a panic mode.
Right.
It's in a boundary committee. It's very intense.
Can be.
So that's our next step.
And this is the whole new board from the last time you met, and they're very active, so.
Well, thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you for coming out in this.
I apologize.
No, it's okay.
You made it.
I'm coming from the furthest point south.
Where?
Boca.
Oh, wow, and the traffic and everything.
The weather.
Yeah, I didn't, it
Rush
said,
hour
it
traffic.
said it was only gonna take me an hour and I left just before 5.
No, no.
And then just find
Where did you come?
The weather.
95 and
You
it's
see, Northlake is closed, so all traffic is going this way, you can't go north anymore. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Barry. I spoke with him today. So I'm going down to meet with. Thank you.
No, remember, I'm just minutes away. I've been in this neighborhood for 35
Amazing.
years.
What a loss it's going to be.
Absolutely.
I'm not in education.
50 years in education, so
I think
we need to make sure we get this taken care of. I'm sure we're gonna have nice support people that will run. Someone that's gonna be very confident and feeling, that the people that's out there so far, I think it's gonna be more. We're gonna get a good candidate. But when you get somebody new, they're just still trying to find their way. Yeah. I need to leave you all in good hands, so don't hesitate to use me. Because when I'm leaving, it's really gonna be getting hot right up in there. So I really want you to be ready. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
it was hard to come back. It's hard to come back from this. Or was last week, Alaska. My daughter started a new job. We drove up there, so.
You got to the West Coast, and then.
Simple. SIPPLE.
Okay, thank you so much, you guys, for your time.
Thank you. Anytime you need us, let us know.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
welcome.
I'm
You're
in-
welcome.
I'm
We're
just-
here. We're here.
Yeah, we went all the way to Seattle and then to,
You drove to Seattle.
well, you have to get to Seattle and through into the.
Now, people
You all
talk
know
about
that, Kelly.
McCormick, and they talk about the interface and the out of.
Yeah.
Programs, you're giving programs here.
Inside Johnson, actually to student educated Skagway. The outside pass.
They really don't want to be able to-
We did, 9 years ago, we did, traps on the Skagway.
I'll be in touch.
I mean, thank you.
Yeah.
Like for sure.
We're taking that.
Yeah.
We love James.
I know that it's not.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Kevin McCormick is absolutely fabulous, as you know.
Yeah, I met him.
Before, and he's gonna wanna work with you all to get your programs.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so we're gonna go through our agenda quickly. All right,
That's good. Okay.
so this is under unfinished business, right?
Yeah.
I just listed out just for a record because we've changed the names of the people that are doing what, so I just wanted to go through this and we can start doing this now, which means I think that we need those letters. Remember the draft that we did?
Oh, the
Uh,
fly, oh,
the
the
flyer,
letter.
yeah.
Really, can you do a letter that we were gonna write?
No, we
out?
did a flyer.
We did a flyer, but we also did something that,
So we wrote the letter to the mayor. The letter was for the letter to the mayor. The flyer was to send out. The letter was.
Or did we were supposed to do a letter that went to the
What-
business owner, yeah?
yeah, I thought we did something like that.
Okay.
Alright.
Hello, this, and then there was a blank, I don't know if I have the page with me, and then
Okay.
you put your name in there, this is so and so, and, you know, I'll have to look through it too. I'll check back then with some of the folks here.
And I just want to confirm, we can go out to restaurants outside of Westlake.
I think we need to stick with the ones that we're doing now.
Okay.
But,
But like for future.
yeah, we've started to tiptoe outside.
Do indeed have a letter. A friend of mine was like, really, they talked with Panera and it was like a success. So I was just like,
Oh, really?
We do have a letter.
We do.
Yep,
Yeah,
dear
I
business
thought-
owner, we have the whole thing. I think maybe to Odette, the flyer. I think I replied to you because I wasn't sure if I could email everyone the sample flyer, or not sample, it was a flyer for my son's travel soccer team, so that you could see like what it looks like, how it's done, how it's formulated.
Is it possible to print those in color?
Oh,
Could we send me that?
Okay.
I don't remember who was in that.
Okay, let me see.
Because we need to.
Maybe you went
we
to
need
spam
have
because I
those
just forwarded
things
it.
once, you know, now
Okay.
that we can start to go out.
I mean, I can show you my, we just did one for my son's, H.L. Johnson too, though, so I can show you.
I know it's in here somewhere.
Because I know you were asking about it, and so I wanted you to be able to see like what that looks like in real life.
Yeah.
Let me pick up this.
So the other thing is, do we have the priorities for the schools that we've been assigned to know what it is we can say to the people when you go to the restaurant or facility to say, this is gonna be used for such and such a school for such and such a project? Are we gonna do anything like that?
I think we were just gonna, whatever restaurant we had would go, we would say the funds would go. So for me, I'm going to Taco Bell and get our restaurant, and say the funds will go to the high school.
Did we agree
But
upon the
we
high
can't
school?
really-
No, I think we were vague. In the letter it says we're organizing initiative to provide students with opportunities to participate in after-school club. We were just very vague because I remember we had to come together and decide after the fact, like what it was gonna be. So I think it was like separate.
In the last meeting, I think the high school had to come.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should do something for the high school. You know, I think they were, did they mention anything else at Seminole beside the,
Scoreboard.
yeah, he had nothing else to talk about?
I'm sure there's a lot. I went there for a session once and the door to the gym was.
Yeah.
The students were like jiggling
That
to get it open. So
And
there's-
then-
I'm sure there's something they could use the funds
A
for.
concession stand. I'll set up a meeting with the principal to see if there's something specific that they have, like a fund that they're raising money for. But he really did push on. We want a scoreboard and a concession
Can he
stand,
just-
and I was
A
like,
concession stand,
Yeah.
not just a scoreboard, he wants a concession stand too.
because right now they're using like a trailer or
Ask him
something like
if
that.
he can give us a general price on what it would cost to do the scoreboard.
Oh,
Have
okay.
they even researched it? You know, Ellen?
Wasn't there
The guy,
somebody interviewed with
Oh my gosh.
baseball who
What's his
talked about saying he wanted to donate?
Chad.
No, that's the Roger Dean, night that we're gonna have in the spring sometime to raise money. But we did talk about, well, Roger Dean is kind of outside, but so is an alpaca. But I was wondering in the back of my head, if that would be something that we could hit up Publix for. I mean, they're here, you know, they're local.
You mentioned Chad, I know. talk about, his organization, which I'm trying to think of, things called that they sell RVs, where they're local right here.
Oh, like where they do the RV shows.
Yeah, well, they're very interested, but
Yeah.
they do the shows and they're always interested in
Yeah.
advertising and they're free. So I'm saying their organization would be very, very interested.
What
in sponsoring
organization?
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of the RV. It's
Are
right
they inside
The camping one?
Westlake?
No, they're right up the street of Stewart.
Oh,
Anybody
that's a
can look
little
it up
far
real
away.
quick. No, they come down here. They're at the South Fairgrounds.
Yeah,
every-
to do the
every
RV
other month.
shows.
And their thing is free, and they look for advertising, sponsoring, people in this area just trying to get their name out.
Yeah, but I think it would be an easier sell, my opinion.
Well, I
yeah,
think
maybe
Chad
we
is
can
local.
try-
I think he's from here. That's what I'm
Oh,
Yeah,
saying.
he lives in my
from here.
neighborhood.
Oh,
That's my
alright.
point. That's
Yeah,
what
he
I'm
lives in
saying.
my neighborhood.
He played
Oh, okay.
pro baseball for what, 20 years, almost something.
You're talking about Chad.
Probably a different Chad.
Different Chad.
Yeah, our Chad's not
Not
that
I.
baseball.
I Chad. I'm just
Well,
interested in talking.
This looks great. I mean, are you just showing me for the design or the
Yeah, and
colors?
just like the concept. So
Yeah.
we went.
That's a little different than what we had.
No, it's similar. It's
Yeah.
very similar. Yeah. And then we were saying that possibly, going to having them when they go to the restaurant, they say this is the event. Like they had all the instructions on here. Like when you go there, say that you're here for Agent Johnson and whatnot. It was packed to the brim. Had to park it in the movie theater.
Wow.
It was
Really?
Did you mention the two restaurants we went to?
No.
Oh, okay. You can.
Yeah, you can, because you had mentioned outside of Westlake.
Mhm.
Greg and I went to Lewis Prime,
And
and
Jabrowski's.
we also went to Jabrowski's, and they were very interested.
Jabrowski said right out, said, oh, we'll give you 10%.
Yeah, right.
They didn't even, we
exactly.
didn't even have to say like, oh, we do.
Does
give
somebody
us some.
touch you?
Yeah.
So we'll be 10%, right?
no.
No negotiating.
10% is a good.
Yeah.
All right, oh, yeah, I should follow up with them because they
We
are.
didn't even ask. He said, we're just gonna give you
Yeah.
10%, but okay.
Yeah, it didn't take any talking at all.
Yeah.
I
Love
think
that.
some of them are gonna be a little hesitant with us and they might ask you to come back.
I don't know. Like spending is down. Like people are trying to save money. So if they're going to be able to, they have the idea that they're going to have a lot of revenue from something like this, they're going to be down to do it. People are just,
All right, so how do we get these letters out to everybody now?
I think it has to be through you guys. 'Cause
Yeah.
we can't send anything, right?
Has to be through council.
But they approved our letter already, didn't they?
Yes,
So now, does that mean we're now able to send it out
Yes.
because they approved it?
yes.
So then we just
Well-
probably pop in the business name and then send it to.
It was from my understanding, the letter they approved for you guys was the school zoning letter that the mayor sent out on you guys.
No, this is
We
before
also
that.
approved
They
the
already,
fundraising.
they already did the other one.
So that was
Yeah.
also the same meeting.
Yeah, when I went there and presented.
It was the 3 letters, with nothing else, just the 3.
Okay, so then I guess we edit it and then send it.
Okay.
So I can do that. I can edit them all and fill out, instead of dear business owner, we'll just add each of these.
Oh,
and then
thank
send
you,
it.
that'd be great,
Yeah.
yeah.
With everybody.
So how do you want to do this? You want to give us a deadline in terms of when we come back? I think shorter time is better than a longer time. Sometime in, what do you think?
When's our next meeting? August.
September, late September? That would give us a good month to see what results we're getting from going out.
And just to clarify, it's to see if the business is interested, but it's not to actually
Correct.
schedule.
Not to lock in a
Okay.
date. This is just to see who's interested. We can give them a ballpark.
Well, I would
number-ish.
ask them for a date that might be good for them or a time frame. or
Yeah.
something.
So
Also
just
day
keep
of
it
the week.
open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Does
also
the
day of the week.
letter explain the whole concept?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. I can
yeah.
read it if you need. If you want to hear it, I can read the whole thing.
You can, or you can send it to me.
Okay.
I think we may have.
If it's sent, it has to go through the city, and then they'll send it out. You can't send it directly.
yeah, it's like talking to him.
And I just show them my laptop.
See, it's like you're a public.
Yeah, I know. If I see you, I don't see you.
Yeah. Do you want me to?
Yeah, it was really good.
All right, dear business owner, I hope this letter finds you well. My name is, and I'm reaching out on behalf of the Education Advisory Board. We serve as volunteers on behalf of the City Council and would love to explore an exciting partnership opportunity that would not only benefit your business, but also support the students of schools here in Westlake. We are organizing a fundraising initiative to provide students with the opportunity to participate in after-school clubs such as robotics club, chess club, sports club, and other enriching activities. These clubs play a crucial role in fostering creativity, teamwork, and leadership skills among students, but many students are unable to participate due to financial constraints. We're seeking local food businesses like yours to partner with us by hosting a fundraiser on a night of your choice. The concept is simple. We invite families and supporters of schools in Westlake to dine at your establishment on a date and time frame of your choice. And in return, we kindly ask for a donation of 10% of the dining proceeds during that time. The partnership offers multiple benefits for your business: increased foot traffic from local families and community members eager to support a great cause, positive brand recognition and goodwill as a community-driven business, promotion of your business through our community networks, including blogs, flyers, social media, and school newsletters. We would love the opportunity to discuss this initiative further and work with you to make it a successful event. Please let us know if you would be willing to participate or if you have any questions. We truly appreciate your time and consideration and hope to collaborate to create a meaningful impact in our community. Thank you for your support, and we look forward to the possibility of partnering with you.
So we're not talking about sending it to them, right? We're
No, I would
talking
go in
about
person.
going
Yeah,
in
yeah,
person.
yeah. When I did this,
That
with
letter
all
and
the
leave them
seats,
with
we
a
went in
copy.
person, we
Yeah.
asked for the manager.
Right.
If it wasn't the manager, we left our name in the card, now that we have cards.
Right, I know. Thank you.
Yeah, we would do our.
So one thing is I wouldn't have them like every week. You want to maybe space them
Right.
once a
Yeah,
month
yeah,
when you're doing
yeah,
a restaurant.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna tire
I
the
know.
businesses out and
Correct.
the residents.
100%.
If you did one a month and everybody's
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
forward to one a month,
Yeah,
we're going to Jabrewski's, we're gonna go to Lewis, we're gonna go to
yeah.
KFC, whatever.
Yeah.
How do you want to do that? You'll
That'll
tell
drive
them
up the business.
I think that once they confirm, like we could have a spreadsheet, well, we can have a spreadsheet, right? We have to go through that.
I think
we
like
can make notes of who's
Right.
interested
and
and then create a schedule.
create a schedule.
Yeah.
Say, all right, we're gonna do you on, in September,
Right.
October, November. And they're like, well, we can't do November, X, Y, and Z. All right, can you do January?
Right.
And then just
Okay, so but we should probably space out when we're gonna make the first contact.
Okay.
Too, so that, like you say, if they're talking to each other, they're gonna hear. They're gonna maybe hear ultimately.
I mean, we're gonna get a lot of no's, so we have to
Yeah.
also be prepared for that.
yeah.
Yeah,
I would say
So I say we do all.
because what if, we only, Crystal and I go in the first, round and all of our people say no. And now we've already wasted like a
Yeah.
whole 2 months. I think we just all go out, we figure out, what it does. If we might have 2 that fall in 1 month or 2 that fall in 1 week. If that's what we can get,
I really think we should
I
plan
think
it
we
out
can
for the
get it.
school year though.
Yeah.
Like, what is
yeah.
your availability for the
Oh,
school
yeah.
year? Like,
Yeah.
we can't just do for the next 2 months. So what's
Right.
your availability over the span of the school year?
right.
And then from there, we can give them the whole year. And then what they say, okay, April is when we do homecoming or whatever it is,
Right.
all of these things, then we make a schedule based off of their availability for the school year.
All right.
so we make it flexible for them.
And then
Wow.
we have our internal calendar. We have a calendar that we can share with Westlake Wanderer for, Westlake dining nights
Right.
for the school for the 2025 to 2026 school year. And then we just kind of remind them as it comes, almost like how we have food truck nights. Like we know food truck nights are coming. We just don't know who's going to be there that day, so we kind of do that like a schedule for the whole
Right.
school year.
All right, so everybody is gonna hit up their 2 assigned schools within the next, what time frame?
I say we have the schools. I mean, we have all of the information by the next meeting, so we can create our schedule in the meeting. Like if they say yes and what their window is. You know what I mean? Because we're gonna say, hi, my name is Crystal Lexma, I'm with the board.
Right.
This is what we're doing. We wanted to make it something for the entire school year, so families in Westlake
Right.
have something to look forward to for the entire school year.
Why can't we do that before the next meeting?
She's saying, no, we should.
No,
do
like
that before
tomorrow.
we-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying like
Okay.
tomorrow we go,
Yeah,
and then the
alright.
next meeting we
Okay.
all present.
We all present that
Yeah.
at the next
Right,
meeting.
and then we get together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in that meeting, we get to be able to make the
And make the
schedule,
calendar.
and then I guess we have to approve. No, do we need approval again for the date?
I don't
For the
think so.
council, no.
Yeah,
No.
okay. So then Alicia will be here and then.
You're already done with red tape. You're already done with red tape.
Don't even ask.
Okay.
Just,
No.
yeah.
Okay. We'll ask for forgiveness later.
Alright.
Okay.
All right, so
All right,
now,
cool.
now Kristen, the question is, can Kristen go out and be part of this?
Chris,
Yeah.
Yes,
He's
uh,
our
mhm.
alternate, yeah,
Mhm.
okay,
that doesn't matter.
all right.
And the only issue is voting.
Is what voting?
Voting.
Okay.
He's able to
Alright,
vote tonight because
okay.
there's not another member here, so he's fine. But no, but that community stuff, yes.
Okay, so is everybody okay with what they have in this list? I
Perfect.
just, all right.
And we already know Jabrowski's is down, so we'll just.
And Lewis was fine. They just didn't give us a,
They,
percentage?
we just have to go
Yeah.
back, I can go back.
yeah.
Okay, so do you want to add Jabrowski's and, Lewis Prime to yours, Anita, since you
Yeah.
went already?
Person.
Oh, that's my bad.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
they gave you the first name. Maybe I did that.
Yeah, that's me. That's Jennifer's last name.
Christian.
That's
Oh,
me.
Christian Hooper.
There's a Christian Hooper.
First name.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But we
It's
have-
late, it's late. Okay,
So. Anybody want to give up one to share?
yeah, whatever.
And there's new restaurants coming. There's the chick ladies coming. There's
Carmella.
there's all new
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
coming.
What about Burger? Isn't Burger?
Oh, Burger
Burger
Pie's
Pie?
here. Okay.
How about
Oh, no, we have
Burger?
Habit Burger. That's what we have. It's already on
Now
here.
it's on.
Yeah, we have Habit Burger.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to take mine? I'll take Carmella and
Where are
Anita.
you at?
Wait
I
a
have-
minute, what's that place that's very popular, where Aldi's is on the other.
Gator Shot?
Oh, we have that.
Yeah, so
Is
he
there
can
a
take
new
mine.
Pomodoro's a new
El
owner.
Pomodoro, yeah.
They
They're
have
a
a new
They have a
owner.
new owner.
So why don't you do El Pomodoro?
Oh, yeah, because the previous owner, we had said that they had already said no, right? We're
Where's
brainstorming.
that at?
No,
No, they
It's
didn't.
on the right side. If you're facing all these, it's on the right side
yeah,
of the net. I think it's a Nestle or something.
yeah, it's next to the ice cream place, I think.
Is it ice cream place?
Ice cream?
Lucky? No,
No,
Pomodoro's
no,
right here, where the
Oh,
old
I was talking
Next to
about
Aldi.
Gator Shop. I was still on. Gator
Ice
Shop.
cream is black. Yes,
Next to Aldi.
it's in that same stretch.
All right, so
Okay.
you can have Pomodoro.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
And then Anita, you'll go back to Lewis Prime and Jabrowski?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Cool. And then if you want, you can take three natives,
Mhm.
and three natives,
Yeah.
and then I'll add Carmella's to mine.
Okay.
Is
They're
that,
supposed to, it should be
They're
soon.
opening very soon.
That looked very
Oh,
similar.
They said August,
Where's
so.
the retaining?
Three natives is right next to,
Like Planet Fitness over, like by the 7-Eleven. It's
no,
in
it's
like
the
the thing.
Habit Burger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
little plaza next to the.
What's like
7-Eleven.
landings?
Okay,
Okay.
so I'll do Carmella's and Starbucks. I met that owner at her Wellington location.
so who's doing three native?
Christopher.
Oh, okay, he's doing Pomodoro and three native?
Mhm. And I'm doing
I
Carmella's
think
and
this
Starbucks.
chick's place open a month or two, right?
Um,
Chicken salad
chicken
place.
salad chick, I haven't really seen
Okay.
her.
I heard, we talked about that, we haven't heard
Okay,
anything
so-
else.
Oh, when new places open, we
Yeah,
just.
We just,
Yeah, so-
Yeah.
Show up.
Just ad hoc.
I like that chicken, there's one in Wellington, it's
good.
really good, yeah. All right, approval to move forward with oh, so we still didn't get a date. Let me get my calendar.
For the next meeting?
Yeah,
Are you meeting in September or October?
I think
It's all
September.
over.
And that's what dates are good.
Is it in the, we're not saying in the September meeting, so like, would be.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Because
we'd want to
That's the
do it
one
in
that
the
we wanna
lodge
do
for
the
the
lodge.
September meeting, because we're gonna invite all the people.
We're on the second and third.
Well,
Second,
maybe-
third, 11th.
Oh,
The 11th is what time?
6.
6. That meeting will last about 5 minutes because it's the last budget meeting. We could do it right after that.
what day is that?
On September 11th.
The
no, it's
11th.
on a Tuesday.
September 11th on the Thursday.
Yeah.
We actually have the room.
Well,
For the district people, should we figure out how to I don't know, the channels that we have to go to invite them? Because I think she has to email them.
They might not have like with the start of school, it might not.
I think it
It
should
might
be a
not be
little later.
available next
Yeah,
month, but
I
if
think
we
we
tell them
should
in
meet
October-
first and then maybe the next meeting, so we get this squared away.
Well, I think we should invite them sooner than later, but I think the meeting should be set in October instead of September for them.
So they get settled.
Yeah, like this is gonna be a crazy month.
So then the
But
next
we can still
meeting,
invite them.
the next council meeting would be,
Well, the next council meeting might be longer than the one on the 11th.
Not on the 11th, the budget meeting.
It's a budget meeting, so he was saying we could bounce.
The 11th, you were talking about September 11th for the council?
The city council has a September 11th budget meeting, which he said would only take a few minutes, so then we could
Oh,
just
right.
just
So
kick
this
it
is-
out.
This isn't the regular council meeting, no. It's just a budget meeting.
On the
Right,
11th.
right.
Yeah, if you want to piggyback on it.
Yeah.
What time is the budget meeting? Did you say?
He's gonna go.
It's a
confirm.
six.
I think he's gonna confirm that it's a budget. Is that what he's doing?
It's a six.
Okay, that's good. So we can. Are we limited to one meeting a month? I think we can choose, right?
We limited
The frequency of meeting.
in terms of what?
Of us meeting, we can choose the frequency, or no? It has to be monthly.
No, it doesn't have to.
Okay.
Well, because I'm just saying, if we're gonna push that meeting with the district people to be a different time than what we're saying September 11th, if we did a later time in September, this way, that meeting with the district people can just be focused on those issues, or like maybe one other thing that we want all the people
You're
to
saying we
hear.
meet in September and October.
Mhm.
So September to go over all of this stuff, the fundraising stuff, and then October is where we invite the district.
Okay, we can just check the 11th of September.
You're changing it to October?
We're wondering if we could do two.
No, not two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one in September to go over this fundraising
Yes.
stuff.
Oh, but that would be here.
Right.
Yeah.
And then one in October where we use
Over
the
there,
lodge.
yeah.
Okay, so, you know, because it costs money to use the
Yeah.
lodge.
Yeah.
So I'll just say on the 11th, that meeting is our final budget meeting. Basically, it's really quick.
Right.
I'd be surprised if it even went 10 minutes, but we could publish 6:30 for this meeting to follow right after that.
So we're worried that they may not have enough notice. Do you
Okay.
think that they would?
Not, that's kind of a crazy time. I
It is,
think.
it's the start of school.
Yeah,
So we would have to look at dates with the lodge because we can't answer that. We could answer the 11th right now,
Okay,
but we can't answer in
Right.
October.
so we're gonna pass on the 11th. For the district? Do you all agree?
So the 11th will meet strictly for fundraising.
Here.
Here.
We can't meet the 11th because we're gonna be.
Can we just
Oh,
meet
so
at the
that's
live?
okay.
It would have to be.
We can,
Oh, you guys
if you
can
guys
be
just want to do a generalized
Yeah.
meeting, we
still
can
meet there.
do that right there.
Okay.
It would start at 6:30, not
Okay,
6, because the
that's
budget
But
is.
we'll just
first.
make sure it's not a 2-hour meeting.
No.
Mhm.
If we already have the lodge, we
Doesn't give you
paid
much
for it,
time, So
Yeah.
maybe that's good though. So
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
because it's $500 each time we use it. So
Okay.
if we're already there, we
Yeah,
already booked it.
500.
So right after that, we'll
Okay.
have this at 6:30 and not 6.
Okay, so then the one that we will have to pay for is October, which we have to get to approve.
We would have to get approval
Okay.
and dates.
Even
and
better
all
that
that
it's pushed out.
But we have to, if we're gonna do that, we need a full commitment of
From the people.
who's
that-
presenting, whether it's the new building person, the
Yeah.
boundary, maybe get like 5 people, maybe the person who's the superintendent of the area, do a presentation, invite the public. They can do the presentation about the
Gonna take time.
new school, you know, like
Yeah.
whatever, if they have a video, they
Yeah.
can show a video of their opening over there.
Yeah.
They can
Oh,
do
that's
something.
true, we can show footage of our tour. We can make sure the tour is scheduled prior to our October meeting.
Now, that's something we can bring up too, as
You know
far
what I
as
mean?
doing a tour together.
Yeah,
We'd have to notice it, you know.
and then that will build the excitement for people to want to
Right.
come to the
It'd
meeting.
be great for you because you're gonna basically see the footprint
Yeah,
of your new
Right.
school.
Right, yeah.
There are gonna be little tweaks here and there. They always,
Yeah.
I've been told now this is their 5th one, so they're like, oh, we don't like these lights here. We don't like that
Yeah.
hallway over there.
Yeah.
The bathroom's in the wrong
Yeah.
spot. They've learned now.
Yeah.
So I was
We'll
even
be the
told
fine tune for
they're
it.
already switching things for our school.
Like
So
my kingfishers, different.
Yeah.
The
I think I
kingfisher
remember the
girls.
name of Jennifer.
things come up during construction. They're like,
Um,
yeah, we're not
I
doing
heard
this.
Gerald
We're doing
and stuff.
something.
Yeah. So I say we invite all.
And we probably do it one day after school's over, maybe we meeting at 5:30 or something, we can, get the principal okay.
There's like a random day off in October too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a random Thursday.
This is next year's calendar. Or no.
No, they have
The
both.
kids, both of them.
Okay.
Oh, but you know what? It might be a Jewish holiday, so.
October 2nd, I think it's.
Yeah, it might be.
Is it Rosh Hashanah?
Yeah, I think it's a Jewish holiday.
Yeah.
It's fall Hashanah.
That letter that she read, we can get you a copy. Oh, she is gonna send it and then send it out to all of us,
Okay.
right?
Yes. I'm gonna plug in all of these businesses
Yeah.
and then send it out to everybody.
Can you send them the names of all these people? Check it against my list, because you can't send it to me.
Oh.
You have to send it through.
Do you want to write it down then? Now? That way you don't have to wait for it to be sent?
Because once we walk out of this room.
Yeah, that's it.
No, I wrote it down, but I'm overwhelmed and all.
I know.
All
Alright, so we have-
All right, give it to me and I'll put it on a
Okay, we need these. Don't lose it though.
There it is.
All right, so we've got regional superintendent. And that's
I
Dr.
think I have the papers
Actually,
for all of those.
Don't worry about it, Anita. I'm gonna type it up for you.
We can even bring him back, Marcia,
Yeah.
bring him all back.
What was his name again?
Patrick Sipple.
Simple, yeah, that's right.
Do not have that name anywhere. Oh my goodness. S-I-P.
SIPPA.
It's crazy how knowledgeable those people are.
That's
That's such a huge amount of information.
What's his first name?
Patrick, bring back Marcia.
Are you still writing it
Back
down?
to the
Okay,
boundary
so
supervisor.
Stephen Livid.
That's a bit tough last name.
I
He's
know.
not living.
I looked him up and I think it's L-I-V-E-D because I don't see L-I-V-I-D. But
Is it S-T-E-V-E-N?
yes, that's what came up when I searched him.
L-I-G-E-D?
Dr. Geraldine Johnson.
I was actually just thinking. of-
Yeah, that was the name.
Yep, he is the one who's in charge of choice programs.
It is in my mind, like,
And
maybe we
then
should-
Kevin
principal
McCormick.
do a presentation.
So
You
he's
have
the
to reinvent the
director. Kevin McCormick, he's the director of special education programs.
Okay, but once I have the names, I can find.
Okay, perfect. And then that's it. Stephen Livid, Kevin McCormick, Patrick.
So you have the
Was it
superintendent.
Jason got it?
Yeah, Patrick. S-A-P-L-E, did you say?
Dr. Coleman.
S-I-P-L-E?
There was a Jason.
P.
Jason Link.
Jason.
Jason Link. That was his name.
Right. Patrick's friend, right?
Yes. Jason Link.
Did you want to invite the new principal of Saddle
Would
View?
love to.
Maybe she can give some insight, you know,
Maybe find out who their
the process they went
president
through
is.
and all that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
and
Only,
maybe do a little presentation of the
Yeah.
school, I don't know.
I actually
I'm
would.
sure they have stuff.
Yeah. Actually, I have her information. I just have to email her today. Let me find.
what's her name?
I'll tell you right now because I have.
Thank God you're good on the computer, Crystal.
Well, with her, it's because I actually had to email her today or something. So let me.
Only Osceola? Doesn't really affect anybody else.
Ross Dwan Moore, no, Principal
Dwan
Dwan, D-W-A-N,
Moore dash Ross.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's D-W.
D-W-A-N. Dwan Ross is what her, I guess, Moore dash Ross.
M-O-O-R-E?
Yeah.
Ross?
Yeah.
R-O-S-S?
Mm-hmm. That's her email too, Dwan.mooreross at public schools.
So I need a letter to send to these people.
Or an email, like a draft email.
Could it be similar to the school, the one you already sent to the zoning?
The school, what?
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Just for the sake of the formality of the meeting, I just want to encourage you to return back to the agenda. And keep with Robert's rules of orders. So I know we kind of had a side conversation, but for the recording and for the listening to it.
I'll drive something up. But the thing is, we don't know the date yet.
We'll figure out October.
Wait a bit, but I'll draft something.
Okay. Right.
And bring to our next meeting on the 11th. Okay, and then I think most of the other schools, trade show development strategies, I think we're gonna have to wait till
We
the
can
next
table that.
meeting.
Yeah, I think we can
And
do
the
it.
EB elementary school we did, and then the strategies, well, that's what we're
Already
talking
did.
about.
Yep.
Mhm.
We're good.
Very good. We can be quick. So how do you feel about going out? I think it's nice to have a formal guide. It makes a difference. I was hoping we could get one of those little pin things, you know,
Yeah,
that
Working on it.
It's gonna-
those two. No, but I meant like just the handmade ones. You buy the paper that goes inside,
Oh.
flips over, and you write your name on it. That's what I was thinking if we didn't have these.
I mean, I can print something out. We're not
The
gonna.
card, the card.
Well, my name is.
Sorry. Okay, so do we have any other comments or reports or updates from any of you that you'd like to share? Are we overwhelming you? He doesn't get overwhelmed. Any,
Just have
any,
so much.
any other public comments? You guys been wonderful. Did she tell you to say that? All right, so now I formally will adjourn the meeting of the August 7th Educational Advisory Board meeting at 8:07. Do we have to vote?
Second motion.
We're all ready.
I'm glad everybody was here. Now, let me add just one thing. I hate to even bring this up, but I can't bring it up.
Yeah,
All right, I'll bring it up.
Sorry, guys.
Too bad, because it sounded good.
If you just
No, it
maybe,
made a difference.
if you just started thinking out loud though.
Thank you.
Thanks for weathering the storm and making your day already.
I don't think it's-
Appreciate it.
Doesn't look like.
One storm.
So I had no idea you were former neighbors with Nikki and Jake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I know your meeting. I'm not there, my neighbor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're two houses down. Yeah, yes. And I actually went to high school with her, so that's how I know.
Oh, wow. And her sister lives down.
And the town.
Terrace,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's all, and her mom's at Crestwood.
Yep. Jill,
Yeah. Whole family.
Yeah, Nikki was texting me the other day, 'cause she was driving by the old house. She says, "What are the runway lights on the runway? I mean, on her driveway." I'm like, yeah, that was installed like 3 days after they moved in. They're like strips all the way down. Like, it's kind of weird.
Bye, guys.
Bye, thank you, Kristen.
Those are yours.
Yes, ma'am.
You guys are gonna be here for the back.
Well, we're taking on a lot.
We're getting
gotta be
formal,
careful. You
yeah.
gotta be careful the bite that we take.
Oh, I gotta sign that. I'm glad you reminded me.
In your one, you have the same copy that you can take home to all the things.
Yeah, this is the one I think that I was writing.
Yes, that one has the minutes as well. But I named it, it should be separate. The minutes.
Really?
Yeah, it's just a paper clip.
Isn't it here?
So this is for the packet, so that's the ones like for you to have, and
And dazzle the
Oh, right here.
Down for the paperwork.
here we are.
Okay, thank you. Do I need to date it? No,
No.
thank you.
You're all
So respectfully.
All right. Wait, actually, you need.
You survived the first one, right?
I think you need to reprint this one.
Oh,
Yeah, we got. Oh, I just made it. Wash it. Wash.
You see, really thick. They're like really, so I don't want them Did you stop the meeting?